Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. I'm your host Sultan M. Hali with a fresh episode of Defense and Diplomacy. We are celebrating 60 years of friendship between Pakistan and China. And today we plan to discuss the defense cooperation. Since the army is a vast subject, we will take it up separately. Today we will talk more about the naval cooperation and the air cooperation. And we are honored to have in our studio today Air Marshal Masood Akhtar, who is a renowned defense analyst. We have with us Captain Owais Bilgrami, who is the Director Naval Development Plans. And we have with us Commodore Asif, Khalique, who is the Assistant Chief of Naval Staff for Plans. Let me start the debate with you. Could you briefly share with our viewers what is the history of naval cooperation between Pakistan and China?
The history of naval collaboration between Pakistan and China dates back to early 70s. It was in the aftermath of the 1971 war that Pakistan Navy decided to strengthen itself with a number of acquisitions from China. We started off in the early 70s with acquisition of fast patrol boats, which are also called gunboats, and we acquired 12 of these. This was followed by acquisition of submarine chasers, hydrophiles, and it was later on in the early 80s that we acquired 8 Chinese missile boats, and this was the first time that Pakistan Navy became a navy with surface-to-surface missiles. Later on, towards the end of the 80s, to thwart the mine threat from our adversary, we acquired inshore minesweepers from China. So that is how the naval collaboration between the two countries actually started off.
The smaller vessels have been covered very briefly by the Commodore. So Captain Owais, could you tell us when did we acquire a larger vessel?
As Commodore Asif mentioned, we started off with acquiring a number of smaller platforms, though quite potent. The first large vessel which we acquired from China was PNS Nasser. It was in 1987. It's a fleet
This was
tanker.
a logistic ship?
It's a fleet tanker, a logistic support ship which provides logistic support to our fleet units. It also operates helicopters, and it's still proudly serving the Navy.
Thus the name Nasser, meaning
Nasser,
Madad.
exactly.
Air Marshal Masood, let's talk a little about the air collaboration. How does it date back?
Of course, longer than the Navy. In the backdrop of 65 war, we got the dependable F-6, which was a version of the MiG-19, the Soviet MiG-19 then. It served us very well during 71. This was one of the pillars of our defense in the erstwhile West Pakistan front. But after the 71 war, we went in a big way onto the Chinese weapon systems. We got the A-5s, we got the F-7s, now we got the PGs. We've got the transport aeroplanes, we've got radars. So over 3 decades, we have been defending our airspace virtually with the mainstay has been the Chinese equipment. It has served us well. It has trained our pilots. Our people went there, both the technicians as well as the pilots. We've been ferrying aeroplanes from Hotiam, which is in the Xinjiang province. And we've been collaborating in a large way with the Chinese. So I think we can look back with satisfaction and pride over what the Chinese friends have done, and at nominal cost. All these weapon systems, they may not be as good as the American technology, which we also have been having, and we've had different influxes. But these aeroplanes have been cost effective, they were efficient, and for example, in the 71 war, with the F-6, we shot Su-7s, we shot up MiG-21s, and we shot up Hunters. So I think they've been
which were virtually superior to
Absolutely.
the F-6.
Absolutely.
Right. Commodore Asif, could you tell us something about naval construction with the help of the Chinese, of course?
It was in the 90s that we decided to go ahead with collaboration in naval construction. We started off with smaller platforms first. We went on to build 2 missile boats in the early 90s at Pakistan Naval Dockyard, but with help from our Chinese friends. These missile boats have good surface-to-surface missiles, a very potent capability, and these are still serving in Pakistan Navy. However, it was actually the project of F-22P ships which came in later in 2005, which was, I must say, a watershed. It consisted of about 4 ships. 3 were to be constructed in China and 1 in Pakistan.
So he just mentioned the F-22P, and it's a hallmark of our naval collaboration. Could you tell us about it, because he mentioned it was signed probably in 2005?
It was signed in 2005, and it was really a watershed event in more than one ways. Firstly, it sealed our commitment towards Chinese shipbuilding industry, reducing our reliance on the Western sources. Secondly, it helped us achieve capability of major warship construction in Pakistan. So on both the accounts,
so how many of these have been actually built in Pakistan?
One of the ships is already under construction at Karachi Shipyard and Engineering Works in Karachi. Its construction is scheduled to complete in 2013, when it will be delivered into Pakistan.
And these are namely?
The 3 ships which were constructed in China and inducted in Pakistan fleet already were PNS Zulfiqar, Shamsheer and Saif. The 4th ship which is under construction at Karachi Shipyard is PNS Aslat.
And briefly for our viewers, what are the capabilities? How do we rate them?
These ships are designed to operate in a multi-threat environment. They are they have a state-of-the-art weapons and sensors to fight surface-to-surface, in the surface-to-surface, surface-to-air and anti-submarine dimensions. They are also equipped with helicopters, with Z9EC Chinese-built helicopters.
Right. So, Air Marshal, one of the major features of Pak-China collaboration is transfer of technology. They just talked about the naval vessels. What about the Pakistan Air Force? What has been our experience?
Wonderful. I think Pakistan Aeronautical Complex at Kamra speaks of huge landmarks that we have made there. And I would like to, through your courtesy, tell our viewers that it has been such a success that the founding officer, Air Marshal Saeed, who actually founded this institution at Kamra on behalf of the Pakistan Air Force, he died recently, and he requested that he should be buried there. So, and that has happened. So we and the retired people, the serving people, take immense pride in what Kamra has done for Pakistan Air Force as a symbol of Pak-China friendship and for national security. And on that, initially it was built to rebuild aeroplanes like the F-6 and eventually the FT-5, the F-7, the A-5, the Mirage factory, of course, which is for the French aeroplanes. It is also rebuilding the F-16 engines. It is rebuilding radars. So it is contributing a huge amount to Pakistan's national security because it is saving a lot of money. An aeroplane, if it was to go abroad for rebuilding, because the airframe has a certain life, because of the huge air pressures that hit the body of the aircraft, this has to be overhauled so that there are no cracks, there are no rivets flying off. So if it is to go abroad, it will stay on ground in that country for periods from 6 months to a year. It could be a year plus also, but in this case, it takes minimal time and very little money compared with the precious foreign exchange that we will have to spend.
And the beauty of this collaboration has been that the Chinese have been willing to transfer technology with no strings attached.
Of everything, of everything. So we've been rebuilding aeroplanes. We have so much of transfer of technology done here that we've been rebuilding aeroplanes even for the Sri Lankans. And in terms of Mirage, because the initial infrastructure was built by the Chinese, we've been rebuilding the Abu Dhabi Mirages because of the infrastructure that was created by them. But of course, the prize is the JF-17, which I'm sure we will
I'll come to just a little later, sir. So, Commodore Asif, what is the follow-up on the F-22P?
The F-22P project has been an excellent one. It has been a great success. This has actually encouraged Pakistan Navy and also our Chinese partners to think about follow-on ships. There can be 2 things that can be achieved out of this follow-on development. Firstly, we can build onto our first project, improve the weapons, sensors and